Hey guys, it's Jotti again. I'm here in Duesseldorf at the Ratingerhof, and beside me, around me, is the band, the HAPPYS.
The HAPPYS.
Hello. The HAPPYS.
Hello.
The HAPPYS.
Bam, bam, bam.
It's not the.
Whatever.
Whatever, yes. But the HAPPYS, you are playing here tonight together with MAD CADDIES. We can talk about this. But first of all, to people outside who maybe don't know you exactly, can you say your names and your part in the band?
Sure. Hi, I'm Elijah Smetzer. I play drums.
I'm Brett Brazil. I play bass.
Alejandro Sanchez, I play guitar.
I'm Nick, I'm the songwriter and frontman clown dude.
Especially clown dude. And
Colors and shit.
yeah, it's the HAPPYS, so you have to be happy, you have to be a clown somehow.
Yeah, so, yeah, gotta figure out something.
How would you describe the HAPPYS to someone you meet at a bar who never heard of you? Your music, your style, your feeling maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we like to say like 90s rock, alternative rock.
Yeah.
We say like Nirvana, Sublime influence, but you know, it kind of goes on from there. We all have kind of different interests, and so we kind of mesh that all together, and yeah.
A little bit of, I'm trying to think, let's see. I like to say it's kind of like Stone Temple Pilots in a way, and then kind of with the dash too of like a little bit of hip hop influence or something, like there's a touch of that. And even like, I'm not gonna say like modern country, but like the old school, like Marty Robbins-ish type shit, you know, the, what do they call that? There's just like a hint, you know?
Yeah, lots of influences.
Yeah, alternative rock is just what I'd say to all encompass it easily.
The easiest way, probably, yes.
Yeah.
And you're from California, exactly?
NorCal, yeah. Near SF.
When and how did you get together?
Well, like I started the band in 2012. I look this way, right? I'm kind of.
You can talk to me, to the people outside. It's all fine.
In 2012, I got out of jail. I was doing drugs and stuff like. I got into the OxyContin big epidemic that happened and got off of it and needed a like outlet. And it was actually like Nick Petty and the HAPPYS, and then before that it was called some shit like Nick Petty and Water, which is pretty hilarious. And then I'm trying to think. It just kind of manifested from there, like through open mic scene and stuff. Brett was in a band called Rango Tango and Medicine Bug, which would play like behind like some pretty cool comedians and shit, and all over the place. And yeah, I don't know. This guy from jail had like a tattoo of this fucking music scale. He got clean. He helped me. Blah 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 blah. You know, and then moving forward to like 2015, Brett joins to record Trippin', the first album, and then 2018, Guy leaves, Alex joins,
21-ish.
Yeah, Eli joined, and did I miss anything?
We were all just, you know, we've all been in the music scene around our area,
Yeah, North
in different
Bay.
bands, and then kind of came together.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so kind of accumulation of projects.
Yeah, I actually played in a different band, Hot Start, and we played a show with the HAPPYS that I organized the show.
The first album release.
Yeah,
show,
the first album release show.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was super
One
funny.
before that too, by the way, that was hella cracking, which kind of was. I was like, this kid takes shit seriously on like promoting, which I thought was good. Like, we're Alex and I are from Marin, and Sonoma's kind of different. Eli's from Napa and stuff, but in Marin there is like kind of displacency and like kind of like, oh, just chill, you know. And I wanted to kind of go more in and hard and take it seriously and shit, and that was like kind of hard to find, to be honest. Still is probably for bands out there, to, you know, a little bit, I bet.
Yeah, it's a slow town.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like a
slow
chill town, yeah.
But that's when we got together, to answer your question.
It's cool. It's always better to ask one question and to get a lot of info than one question. Oh, one sentence, okay.
Yeah.
Next one, next one maybe. And you mentioned some things when people came out and stuff. But what else have been the most important turning points since you founded the band? Maybe 2 or 3.
I'd say, well, meeting the connection with, like, the first thing that tops off my mind is, you know, we became really close with Eric of Sublime, who took us under his wing.
Yeah.
And that was really huge for us because it allowed us to play and tour at a large scale for the first time and make these connections in the industry. And that was, I think, a big, crucial, pivotal point.
Another one, I mean, like the first, even before that, was back in 2017. Our first U.S. tour was with Mad Caddies.
Yeah.
And so that was like, and now it's our first European tour with Mad Caddies again. So Mad Caddies have been huge for us.
Yeah.
Like, which is crazy. I mean, we love Chuck and everyone in the crew, and so Mad Caddies and Sublime Connections have been two really big ones for us.
Jack Endino, the producer, but on an indie level, Will Rushton of I grew up with, who was a director, really helped us get our feet off the ground with like really professional music videos. He works for the Warriors, doing digital editing and stuff, so we got like way better shit than we would have. And then what was the other one? Tim Azzi, booking agent, got us through the US. That was like a kind of crucial one to kind of solidify a stronger indie cult following, you know. That was a big one.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it's your first European tour?
This is our first time in Europe.
Yeah,
none of us have been to Europe.
None of us have even.
Never.
I'm a European citizen and I've never been in Europe.
Okay, so from which country are you?
Well,
Oh,
I'm Argentinian, but my grandparents are Spanish, so through blood, and because my parents said the Argentinian passport wasn't really worth much, it's if I had to pick between Europe and America. So basically, I kept that.
Sick.
And my family actually is from Catalan, which is the eastern part of Spain, and so it was cool to be over there for the first time over here. You know, the Caddies really showed us. I mean, it's an incredible experience.
Yeah.
so I have to ask, what do you like most about Europe so far?
Ooh, that's tough.
Food's definitely up there for one. The architecture, culture, everyone's so warm here. There's not any cold-hearted, like passing by with silence. You can always just say hi to someone and then start a great conversation, make new friends, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the food has been amazing. We don't have like old buildings and stuff, so seeing things that are from like 1200, we're like, that doesn't even exist. And so, and people have been really welcoming to us, and
That's a
What
good
about for you?
question.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I love my history, so having something older than 1850 is always great. Honestly, the architecture, I've gone to a couple museums. There's so much art here. You know, we have a lot of modern art in the States, but we don't have any of that real historical art. So I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah, I should totally understand. And I think it's in Europe it's even different, because sometimes you have these old architecture and stuff, and sometimes you have new stuff because of the war. Things have been thrown down. Like even here in Duesseldorf, you have all together, old buildings, new buildings, stuff like that.
Right.
Everything's taller here. Like when we go to music venues and shit, like there's not one venue where you fucking fall off the side, it's over, like there's tall ass buildings, and the height of them, speaking on like the specifics of the architecture, shit is really tall, which is pretty cool. Like I'm into like in Austria was really nice, like the greenery, like the Ricola commercial, with like the giant hills and shit, and snow was beautiful in Austria, like on the Italy was pretty scenic. But yeah, German is really cool, and I'm a little bit German, and so is Eli. Or Eli's probably maybe even more German, I think. But I don't know. Anyways, I found out I was a little Austrian too, like just like 14 or something pretty sick. It's cool, man. I've been crying and shit. It's really touching over here, man. And we haven't even played U.S. or Mexico. This shit's huge for us. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. So
Yeah, we're excited.
And maybe you should explain to the people, this is kind of a double show.
yeah,
Because we are here at the Ratinger Hof in Düsseldorf, and we played already yesterday.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
It was sold out, yes. I think today it's sold out, and yesterday.
Dude, it was like
back to
nothing
back.
I've ever seen, to be honest, man. I've been to
Couldn't even get
so
out of the
many
venue
shows.
yesterday. It was brutal.
It was brutal, but at the same time, as like somebody who respected like Bill Graham, that promoter, and all that, it was badass. It was fucking,
Oh, super special. It was just
it was
like
mayhem.
I even just wanted to see the show, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't even get out of the downstairs to get up there to watch it."
No, it's sick.
We watched it from the TV in the back. Eventually, when I made it out, it was funny. In the bar, they have a TV that shows you the stage, and it was like, well, I guess that's what we can
Can't
see.
thank the Mad Caddies enough though for this shit. Seriously, man.
Yeah, no,
Every
they're
day is like
incredible.
Christmas, where it's like a brand. This is the only double show I think that I can remember, but like every single place has its own little specialness to it, you know, and I just want to come here. I know it's like weird times and shit, and you know, the news and stuff, a lot of Europeans are probably getting a lot of, you know, like specific stuff, and just show them that Americans are so cool and shit, you know, like some of us are so cool, and you know, like the you know, it's just yeah, just like seriously trying to be a positive influence, you know. It's been sick, man. Yeah, it's just speechless really at each spot. It's absolutely incredible. Never really seen anything like it.
And you know about the historical importance of especially this venue?
No.
We were hearing,
somehow
that this was like the spot for punk
yes,
shows,
in
like
the 80s,
in the 80s, like everyone
dude.
came through here. So,
The photos
it's
are
really cool.
That's really cool. I haven't looked at the list, but from what people have said, it's like pretty extensive. And this was kind of like the hub for punk, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to have played here. You can say, hey, we have been at Ratingerhof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The German scene was born.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's super cool.
That's so cool.
Who does that song, Silence is Golden, or Bump, or not Tainted Love Up? Fucking, I thought it was that German big band from the 80s. They got All I Ever Wanted. Are they German? All I Ever Needed.
Depeche Mode, no, they're British.
Fuck. They're
These are
good.
British guys, yeah.
For some reason,
But
they're
Alpha Will, for
I
example,
paint-
Forever Young is from Germany. But
okay.
he's more or less from Münster and lived in Berlin back then. So.
Wasn't there some
Yes,
Beatles
birthday
history
yesterday.
in Germany?
Yeah.
Like some like significant beat they kind of
Hamburg.
broke.
In Hamburg.
Yeah.
They had their breakthrough in Hamburg in some small club, yeah.
And Johnny Cash was like stationed out here in back in the day. I remember watching Walk the Line, and he was in Germany and shit, riding his first wife and stuff. It was cool, man. Just a lot of history over here.
Yeah,
And
totally.
the Beatles did some German songs, I think. Like in German, you know, because back then you couldn't like just fuck. Maybe they had some fill-in or whatever, but I don't know. I know they had some German shit. That was pretty interesting, pretty cool.
And we have to talk about releases.
Yeah.
So your latest release, I think, is from last year album, Listen to the HAPPYS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So just a quick look back. What has inspired you? You are the main songwriter.
Yeah.
So what has inspired you especially to do this album, the songs on this?
Well, all these new artists like King Gizzard and Tame Impala and shit are inspiring, and Mac DeMarco was inspiring, and you know, like the band shows new shit all the time. And realistically, I'm not that good of a musician. I like to write all day, you know, and just it keeps me from doing drugs, you know, and losing my shit in other ways and all. You know what I mean? So I just realistically though, like musically, the band can play laps around shit I play, but honestly it's like yeah, I don't know, I listen to the Beatles a lot, and shit, just because they're easy to write shit out. I like Meet the Beatles. That was a big one that helped me kind of write when I had writer's block. And Elliott Smith, even though, you know, his ending and all that was sad, he's an inspiration for sure. And yeah, you know, there's tons of good bands. You got like Primus and shit in the Bay Area, Sly Stone and shit like that. And yeah, you know, there's so many.
So no, I think he was asking like what inspired some of the songs, or what made you choose some of the songs on the.
I mean, a lot of the songs, like Petty writes so many songs, and so then we'll kind of like choose like, oh, well, we really like that one, and we really like that one, and so he'll have like, you know, a verse and a chorus for it, and so then we kind of structure it. And
I mean, yeah, sometimes I definitely structured a lot of the songs, but
totally.
yeah, I don't know, but he's right. We have a catalog, and Brett is a really good producer and engineer, and recorded some big bands in Katati, and has basically, yeah, that's like how he said, you know, we spit out a bunch and then format them. But I'm trying to think about the anyways, Brett, what were you saying about the I kind of lost my train of thought.
oh, just that, yeah, like, well, you know, Petty will show us songs, and then we kind of choose which ones to work on, and then make a batch of songs. And so that was like, you know, 10 songs that some of them he'd had for, you know,
Yeah,
they're
quite
not
a
like
while.
brand new songs, but they're new to us when we haven't played them.
Yeah.
So, you know, so that's where it kind of comes into like, we'll put them together, even though like he has them, you know, he could play them all day. And then, so then we need to just figure out our parts, and
Without a
sometimes
solo,
we'll switch things around.
Not
like
a good
tiny
solo,
bit,
Yeah.
and-
guitar solo. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I
Like,
can't really do that.
Create a like riff for it, or like an intro, or like an interlude. You know, just
Layering effects.
Yeah, layering effects. Like he brings a
Keys,
really good
synths.
skeleton of it, and then we just kind of combine our own little thing. We all have our own little thing that we're good at, and I think that's what works really well, because you can't really have everyone you know, doing everything.
Yeah.
So it makes like a nice blend. And for the album, I know you're going to ask, well, why that collection of songs? And the reality is it isn't. It's just like what I think Petty was saying, Mac DeMarco, King Gizzard and the Lizard Brothers. They just put out albums and albums and albums, and there's no concept behind this other than, hey, here's a collection of songs that we were working on, and these are all the ones that we think shine through everything that we're working on currently.
Yeah.
The albums before though were a little bit more like kind of themed, like you'd have like Trippin', and I kind of paint like a you know, like go with like that was about anxiety or stressing, you know, and then bipolar and stuff like that. And then Listen to HAPPYS was a funny thing because I do like these signs that would say listen to HAPPYS everywhere, you know, to get the views up. So it was like this kind of like thing we used to get it more legs to get out in the world more, you know. But we had a better production on it, and we're not my words, you know. Like we had this guy Rick Bondi that helped break Blink-182 and Sublime and shit like that, and MAD CADDIES worked with them, and he I was getting to something with that, but basically he would fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say, man. Yeah, I had a good point, but it's gone.
Maybe it comes back.
Yeah.
Great. And let's talk, for example, about one song, because I love to change the world.
Oh, cool.
So what's the idea behind this one, especially changing the world?
Yeah. Well, being the change you wish to see type thing, you know what I mean? Like I used to kind of like change for people to fit in with people, and kind of changing it from like being the change you wish to see or something. I think that's like a Gandhi quote or some shit, but you know, it's like it's about kind of like trying to be a better partner, trying to be when a movement or something comes up in the world, to not be so quick to join some sort of kind of thing coming in and out. There's a touch of that in there. And yeah, it's kind of like just being the change you wish to see. Yeah, like, yeah, you know, kind of simple. But we filmed a DIY video that was pretty cool. Alex and a guy from France helped film that.
Marco, yeah, my friend's boyfriend. He was out visiting California, and he's a videographer, and he works in France, Biarritz. And he does like really cool surfing videography. And he was like, yeah, I'm like not doing anything and I have a camera, like wanna go shoot a video? And we're like, yeah, and we just took him on like a full day adventure that I don't think he was ready for. We ended up hiking really far.
And we didn't bring water and shit.
Yeah,
we got like hella thirsty.
It was an adventure, but yeah, we ended up shooting it up there on a mountain, like a hill.
World War II bunker. And yeah, Hamilton Air Force in Novato, California. It's a trippy area.
Yeah.
And what do you all do to change the world to a better state somehow?
That's a great question.
I pick up a lot of trash and shit. That's, try to smile a lot. Today I'm hot.
Bring positivity to the world, you know, just be there for people. Try to give them a positive experience when we play music and something to be happy about.
Yeah, I think positivity is a great anchor right there. Just doing what we can, because you can't change the world in one foul swoop, but if you do a little better every day, you know, it adds, it compounds over a long period of time.
Yeah.
I try not to, you know, ever go back to drugs and the hard drugs, and that's a big one for me because a lot of people, whether I knew it happened or not, kind of, even in the indie little way, kind of, you know what I mean? A couple of people have said, you know, just that it's an inspiration, you know, that, you know, I don't do drugs and stuff like that. So I don't know, that's one. My mental health could use some work at times, but it's like I was dealing with a lot of shit, which is why I use a lot of drugs. So, you know, and I got like 16 years with all that shit, you know, and it's like some really bad shit. So.
Yeah, but it's really cool that you got out of it.
Oh God, man, yeah, I was in jail, you know, like just living a life I did not want to live. So.
And somehow, for sure, you bring happiness to the people.
Yeah,
yeah. Be happy.
Yeah.
We hope so. We try.
Yeah. Definitely try.
Yeah, you can't always be happy, but
yeah.
we can help try.
Yeah.
I have to ask, probably someone else has asked this as well, but what makes you especially happy? You personally, as people?
My girl and my dogs, man. And skateboarding and the beach and seeing new places, making new friends. Meeting musicians I like. Oh, it's probably my Zen. I can tell by the sound.
Yeah, I think that was mine actually. Yeah, for me, I mean, if you're just asking in a general sense, you know, like I just got married, so my wife makes me very happy, and that's been my whole world. That I love surfing, and yeah, I mean it's pretty California, but love a good warm weather. Love playing some music, and I love my wife.
Yeah, I think the girlfriend and the dog theme is a thing. Love my girlfriend, love my dog, love playing music. I love traveling, I love touring. It's really fun waking up in a new spot each day and seeing what's around, because when you are in a little city for so long, it's like you get used to the same routine, and then seeing other people's routines is just cool, and I don't know, that makes me happy.
Girlfriend, dog?
No, I'm the single one here. I'm the oddball into that one, but I don't know.
You hear that? He's single.
Hey.
Let's not fucking.
Good looking.
Probably a good nap, some sleep. That's always
that's true.
Always
That's
a good
true.
one.
These days on tour, that's
It's like all we can
relevant.
think of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very relevant.
fucking awesome.
Playing music for sure is definitely it's very therapeutic for me personally. I can't find what I get in music in anything else, and so for me to make all the accomplishments that have been made with these three other dudes, it's not an addiction, but it has its addictive properties. So I'll just leave it at that.
At least the better addiction than drugs, for example.
Yes, much healthier.
Yeah.
Really? Are you healthier?
You know, now that you bring it up.
Or is it toxic relationship now?
Yeah, I've been there, bro. That's fucked when it's tough, man.
Yeah, totally.
Been there.
And after the tour, what's coming next? Are you working on new material, on new videos or stuff?
Yeah,
We are working on new music. We've been doing some recording, and then we have a tour coming up.
we have another tour, West Coast tour in July.
In the United States,
Super stoked about that. Gonna get to see all the hometown spots in California as well as Oregon. We're doing Idaho too, Washington,
and
Arizona. So it'll be cool. Really excited for that.
And yeah, hoping to put out some new music this year. I mean, we've got probably 5 or 6 songs that are pretty freaking close right now, and then we kind of got thrown into this tour, and we had to switch gears kind of away from the recording and take a little break on it. But we'll get right back to it as soon as we're there, and we would rather be here.
Yeah.
Maybe some European, what's it called? Drop some European live shit too would be sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, reminds me, I gotta grab the.
Yeah, we're recording this set tonight, so maybe we'll do a live in Duesseldorf.
Yeah.
HAPPYS album.
Cool, for sure.
That'd be cool.
And do you try out new songs on stage now on the tour, or is it that you say
We try to. The band likes to kind of, do the familiar ones, which is super common. It's very common. But I'm more, I don't know. I like a lot of bands that kind of have a set and they'll be like, oh, the vibe's different, let's do this or whatever. But when we're recording so many songs, it can be confusing, to throw in new ones, that aren't even out yet. But yeah, definitely there's 2 ones off the new album for sure.
Ain't Got No Money.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we've been playing a couple.
We've been playing a couple new ones for the most part.
But we have a lot of new shit.
We have a ton, and hopefully we can be back and play more new stuff. It's our first time around. We want to get people familiar with stuff we've put out, and then throw a couple new ones in there just so they get a little flavor, and then hopefully be able to come back and play more of those new songs.
Yeah, cool. And when you come back, we can have another talk.
Yeah.
What happens in between?
Hell yeah.
For sure. For now, we come to an end slowly, but how do you now prepare for the show? I mean, this is the relaxed day without sound check and stuff. Well, what do you do now to come into the right mood to go on stage later on?
Drink hella water.
Tea.
Yeah, water's good, and a little tea.
Smoke a little bit of weed.
Smoke a little, maybe like a glass of wine or a beer.
Yeah,
try to keep it nice mellow vibe before, and then we try to leave it all on stage when we play live. So that just getting a little moment to relax before really helps us out too to give a good performance.
It's been a vulnerable tour, you know what I mean? I've really had some moments with the crowd I've never ever had, just very emotional, and it's a cool thing to be able to do, to connect like very naked, so to speak, vulnerability, like, and just tell them how grateful I am to be here. It's a big deal, like I said, if we had maybe gone to like Mexico and different cultures and experienced all that, it wouldn't be maybe as special, but since we hadn't, it's been a big ass deal, like something like we never seen, in my opinion, like some of these shows are fat, the MAD CADDIES has been around quite a while, and like Slovenia comes to mind. It was a big ass show in Belgium, and a few of the German ones were huge, so yeah, it's cool, really cool.
So you really have to come back, of course.
Dude, I hope so. Yeah.
And then even bigger venues, probably.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
With stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the goal, man. That's the dream.
And work on our German, and all sorts of the other languages.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for doing
maybe the interview helps you a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for doing our first freaking
European interview.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks,
man.
Check out the HAPPYS on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music.
Nice.
Thanks, and bye-bye.
Thank you.